Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-April 2024 love reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's why I go to bridging the gap spread. And the way it works is we look at the past, present, future energies between you and the main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some more cards as well for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Opus Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel that's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Five of Coins. So this is actually a Taurus energy here. And it could just be saying that you might have felt like you couldn't necessarily see this person helping you build a long-term stable commitment, right? So if we think of the Five Pentacles there, right, and then you're feeling like, okay, this is what I'm bringing to the table, you might have felt like you couldn't necessarily count on this person to bring the other five, right? And for some of you, there could have been some disagreement around children as well, whether or not to have them, things along those lines. But yeah, it looks like you might have just felt like the connection really couldn't go any further between the two of you in the past. Right, and past energy on their side, interestingly enough, they also have the Five of Pentacles, but if you look at the energy of this deck, it looks completely different, right? So to me, this almost looks like the aftermath of a Five of Pentacles situation, where you've already gone through the rough stretch, and now this is working on repairing the situation. So for some of you, it could just be one of those things where maybe you viewed it as a deal breaker, whatever the situation was, whereas this person might have thought that, okay, maybe this was a little rough stretch we went through, but we could totally work on it and improve. So looks like the two of you could have just been viewing the same situation from very different angles. All right, present energy on your side, we have Fortune. So this is the equivalent to the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot, which is actually a Jupiter energy. And, we actually have Jupiter working into a conjunction with Uranus in the sign of Taurus right now, and that's your house communication. So it could just be one of those things where you might start seeing signs and synchronicities. Maybe you hear a certain song on the radio, for example, given that we do see the musical instrument there. Or maybe just in your dreams you're getting these signs, but I feel like there's some signs coming your way as far as what to do regarding this connection in the present. Right, present energy on their side, we have the World. So yeah, interestingly, we also see a child in the artwork here, right? So maybe, like I said, if this was an argument specifically around children, right, maybe they do come around and let you know that actually they are willing to go that route, right? So it could just be one of those things where maybe it was just one of those things that might have gone blown out of proportion, right? Or maybe it just took this person a little bit longer to realize the gravity of the discussion, right? And come back around and approach it in a more mature manner with the two of you. But yeah, to me, this looks like this is saying that they do actually see the long-term potential in this connection and they do want to build on it with you. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Eight of Staves. So this is Sagittarius energy here, and given all of the bird symbolism that we see there, which usually to me points to communication, looks like you will be communicating with this person a lot more in the future. Maybe feeling a little bit of reinvigoration around the connection, right? Feeling like there's more potential to it. So yeah, like I said, this could have been a temporary thing. I mean, who knows, right? Maybe it's because of the eclipse energies we've just been dealing with, or maybe even the Mercury retrograde that we're still dealing with now, right? Could have been one of those things that brought it all to the surface, but looks like it might be a bit of a short-lived situation as far as the conflict goes. All right, future energy on their side, we have the Six of Wands. So yeah, this is Leo energy here. Usually points to a sense of victory, fulfillment, but interesting, we see a lot of birds in this card as well. So yeah, it looks like the communication lines will be open between the two of you in the future. And it looks like you guys will be moving things forward in a much more positive manner. And in a way, the artwork here almost reminds me of the Six of Swords in traditional tarot, which usually points to moving to calmer waters, right? So yeah, I feel like I said, it looked like you were viewing this as a pretty big deal in the past, but whereas they didn't seem to take it as seriously. But either way, it looks like you guys will both get on the same page again soon. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Five of Staves. So this is Leo energy here. And yeah, it could have just been one of those things where you might have maybe felt like they were lacking in maturity, right? So, like I said, maybe this was just something that was very serious to you in the past that you tried to reach out to them about, and then they just might have taken a very light stance toward it that made you feel like you couldn't take them seriously around the situation. But I don't feel like that's necessarily how they meant to come across, right? So I don't feel like they intentionally came across from that perspective, but maybe they just didn't realize that, from their perspective, for example, maybe they were just trying to lighten the mood versus completely shift the focus of the conversation, but it could have just come across the wrong way. And then, that could have been what started to spiral things between the two of you. But like I said, it looks like it will be resolved soon. All right. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the King of Pentacles. So, yeah, so maybe they just have a very practical, earthly approach to things, right? So if you did say, like, for example, hey, should we have kids together, right? And they're thinking about it, okay, well, if we go that route, we have to accumulate X amount of dollars, right, before I feel comfortable doing so. So it could just be one of those things where I just have really different approaches to things. So, for example, maybe they have a very earthy way of approaching things, whereas yours is more of a, given that you are a water sign, right, you might have a more emotional spin on things. So it could have just been one of those things where you might have just had two very different approaches to things, and that could have been what caused the disconnect. But it looks like you guys will be able to get back on the same page soon enough. So, and given that this is Taurus energy as well, could just be saying that as we move through Taurus season, that's when you guys are able to get things back on track. All right, moving on to your Oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the messages of Oracle card deck. Just going to pull a single card from this deck. Got one there. And next, we'll see what we get from Wisdom Oracle deck. Same situation. That's going to pull a single card from this deck as well. Then we'll read the messages from both cards and wrap the reading up with that. And that didn't want to go back in the deck, so let's see what we got from the messages of love first. All right, we have Ghost Love. It says, take time to get to know each other. So yeah, interesting message there, right? Because like I said, it seems like the two of you might have similar goals, but just two different approaches to them. So, again, like I said, I know it might sound like I'm saying, oh, you overreacted, but I'm just saying, looking at the grand scheme of things, it looks like, you took it pretty seriously, but just more of a misunderstanding that it wasn't necessarily that this person wasn't taking it seriously as well, but they just had like a different way of looking at the situation. And that could have been what caused the disconnect for a while. And that could be one of those things that as you do get more familiar with each other, you might start to realize that, like, okay, this person might have a different communication style from me, but are we overall moving in the same direction, right? And then learning to adjust to that. All right. And from the Wisdom Oracle, we have the Fates. There's the artwork, and the number is 17. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, the relationship message says other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be so you can remain in a relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in the situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So yeah, that definitely does make it seem like it was pretty significant, right? As far as the shrimp, the disconnection as a whole. But like it said, maybe you're meant to learn from the situation. Like, okay, is this actually a deal breaker for me with this person, or can I say, okay, and maybe they have a slightly different approach to things, but maybe we can learn to let those things complement each other rather than cause clashes with each other, right? So could just be one of those things again with the go slow. Like it says, it might take a while for you to truly know one way or the other which side of the equation you guys fall on. But hope whatever resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.